There we go. Perfect.
That's great.
All right.
Nice one.
Cool. So
this is not a very flattering angle on me, but never mind.
All right. Well, we'll say that's our intro. So
Perfect.
Welcome to another AWIC. And I have Mike right down here on my phone. Wish he was here, but close enough. So, yeah. Again, lots happened since the last call. I feel like the cubing news is sort of popping off a bit lately, isn't it?
We're in release season, for sure.
Yes.
Like, we are 100% deep in the releases. We've got things on the horizon, like in the near future. We've got the Tornado V4, which we still don't know about the versions yet, unless you know about the versions yet.
I have heard things.
Okay.
Is this the part where I talk about what I've heard?
Well, yeah, let me just intro that, right? Like, so what I've seen is all the testers do not have the trio of magnets on the edges like what I've seen in the promotional material, and like we talked about, and like you talked about having seen as well.
Yeah.
Your tester, I noticed from your video, didn't have those triple magnets on the edges either. So,
Yes.
What's up with that?
I have tried one with the triple magnets on the edge. So it was cool, but it is weird. I'm just pulling out the flagship one I have right now. And I don't know if there's like some really big brain scheme that she's doing or trying to create hype or what it might be. But the V4 flagship is a great cube, just as the V3 is a great cube. If the V4 flagship could just not break, I think it's a win.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all we're looking for.
Yeah, like it's already good. But I don't know why they would not have sent the Pioneer version out first, unless they're planning to release them at separate dates, which I have not been told that's going to be the case. So I don't know. I felt inclined to make a video covering the flagship because lots of people have been asking about this, and we were allowed to. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the pricing's going to be yet, but I do have high hopes, and I don't think that it's going to be anything like earth-shattering. I think it's something that if you have a V3 and it breaks, get the V4, and if you don't have either, just get the V4. I think that's kind of what it's going to be. And I'm sure the V3 will be discontinued very soon.
I can't imagine why anyone would want a V3, really, once the V4 is out, unless there's a horrendous difference in price or whatever. But in regards to what you've just said, though, is your speculation that the Pioneer version of the V4 will be the triple magnet edge one?
Yeah, I can almost guarantee that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't even know if they're going to do a standard. I had heard it's going to be like a flagship and a Pioneer version, and I didn't hear any mention of a standard version. So maybe they're going to do flagship, Pioneer, and Pioneer UV. That'll be a bit interesting to see what they do. But yeah, the release date is supposed to be September 20th, and that's closing in somewhat rapidly. So a little bit worried that there's still this many questions up in the air. But I guess we'll find out when we find out.
Yeah, I know that is slightly unnerving, I suppose. I should acknowledge I guess a mistake. I was given wrong information about that release date. I was telling everyone 15th. That's what my supplier says, 15th. But the best information we have now is the 20th. So whether they've pushed that back by 5 days or whether my information was just plain wrong, could be either.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm looking at the V4 that I have, and one of the main comments that we saw was everybody like saying it's a GAN box copy, which I guess it sort of is, but it didn't really cross my mind that was the case because I feel like so many other boxes are kind of going for this style anyway. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I mean,
it's just the Hong box. It looks like what the Hong came in, the 5x5, the QiYi 5x5.
No, this one separates like this. The Hong one has a tab that you pull out from the side, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. That's right. You're absolutely right, of course.
Yep. So I don't know, but I mean, if it makes sense, like if we want to talk about boxes, here's the YJ EST, and I can't say for sure because this just kind of showed up without much info. But like, okay, so you have the box, which I'm trying to figure out. Like, I'm looking into this camera, but also talking to you down here, so we're figuring this out. So the box is small, which I like. I was excited when I saw that. I'm embracing the migration back towards smaller, less beefy boxes, unlike this monstrosity.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah. So smaller box, you have your little accessory thing in it, right? Pretty standard stuff. Well, then the wild card is this little gem was packed in with it, a second accessory box. So opening up the one that's not in the box, you have a bag full of stuff. Stuff being seemingly 6 extra centerpieces that I don't believe are different than what's in the cube. Extra springs, magnets, and screws. So given how hollow the EST is, maybe it is a valid, like, hey, you might break this. Here's extras.
Oh,
or maybe
man,
there's supposed to be something different.
I don't like that. Like, I don't like that they're giving out pieces because they're and sort of saying, "Hey, this is going to break. Heads up." Like that
Well,
doesn't
what's
fill me
funny-
with confidence.
This box is arguably more important than the box that's in the box, which
Right.
the box that's in the box contains, surprise, a screwdriver and a bag. So it's like, okay, your cube breaks and you might lose your, which actually this is a nice bag. I haven't really felt it. This is like very dense. It feels like, wow, I don't know. It feels almost like a wet gym bag. Like, yeah, it does have kind of a must to it, but I do like the feel. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know though. The cube, I am not so sure how I feel about it. I'm kind of feeling like it's, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all type territory.
Okay.
It's just weird. It's very different. I always try to, and I can't even figure out how to get this bag back in the box. I feel like I try to always maintain the attitude of like, I don't want to discourage designers or brands from thinking outside the box and trying different things. But at the price point, this is a very unique cube that is going to accommodate a very unique turning style.
I think that's a very diplomatic way of putting it. It's a very unique little design. I've not seen one yet. I've not had my hands on one yet. All I've got to go on is the response from my customers on my pre-order, and it's not amazing. It's not a hugely enthusiastic response.
There are some interesting things about it. So I'll show like the camera won't be able to pick it up. Mike, I'll try to send you a picture and
Okay.
we can overlay this.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Like on the corner, at first I thought it was a defect, but on every corner, which you probably can't even see this, it looks like a little cap. Like, you know, like when you buy a new ballpoint pen, they have a little rubber like cap that goes on the point of the pen?
Yeah.
That's
Like
what
a gel
this looks
pen, yeah.
like. And I assume that this is, if you drop it, it's such a hollowed out lightweight cube. It only weighs like 70 grams. But just the fact that, like, again, the edges have like these huge cuts taken out of it. Like, it looks like it looks like a modded cube.
Yes.
Like a hand modded cube for like weight reduction. So I'm suspecting that's to make it a bit more rigid. The exterior is like, it reminds me of diamonds. It's like, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different cuts to make different angles just on the edge piece alone. Mm-hmm. It's very unique, very hollow. Like the center pieces are very hollow. And also the kicker is, this is how loose it is, right? Everyone can see, very loose. This is the tightest I could set the cube while retaining like corner cutting.
Okay.
And this corner cutting is already not, it's not bad, but it takes more effort than most people will probably want to exert.
Right, okay. So, in answer to our question that I think we posed last time I was on an AWIC, are YJ finally going to make an awesome 3x3? The answer is, we're not sure. Jury's out.
Well, what I just don't understand is we look at the first MGC. Like right now, I'm fumbling with the center cap because I'm so afraid to just jam it in there.
Yeah.
We look at the first MGC that came out, and it was like a smash hit, relatively speaking. But it was simple. There was nothing weird about it, nothing fancy. It just was a very basic, bare bones cube that just worked well. Mm-hmm. And I think ever since, what would that be? Would it be the MGC? Like, I think once we started hitting the Evo line is when things started to get a little weird. And by weird, I just mean different. Different isn't weird, but they're not inexpensive is the problem.
Yeah, that is the issue, yeah.
Like, my fingernails are not really long, and I'm finding, like, when I solve occasionally, and I'm sure that turning style plays a large role in this, my nail is, like, getting caught in that little edge piece. Like, it's literally just, like, a void. Like, if you, like, get lube in there, like, you're gonna have lube just sitting inside your edge piece for all eternity. So, it's just weird. And, like, the magnets, the way they're engineered, I mean, maybe it leaves room for, like, customization, but there's, like, man, I don't know, I'm gonna try to show you. But now it's, like, too tight to even get a piece out. It's like it's like a bridge between the both sides of the edge that holds the magnets, which it's like, why? Unless it's to make the edge more sturdy. I don't know. It just is like, how can we produce something that people, like with the main features people want, but just not do it the conventional way? That's what this feels like.
Yeah, definitely. I was saying to you, I can't remember, it feels like a Jurassic Park situation where instead of asking whether they should make this crazy cube, they've only asked whether they could, and they've gone through with it, and then they've done it, and then they've gone, oh god, now I'm getting eaten by a dinosaur. The metaphor falls apart at the end, but you know.
Yeah, and I really like YJ as a company. Like their MGC big cubes have stood the test of time. So, I don't know. I want to help, and I'm here to help. So my line is open if someone at YJ is watching this. Another thing we have from YJ is now we're just in the era of revamping old releases. So now we had the mini 4x4 come out, UV coated, but now mini 4x4 UV coated and core magnets. So I haven't even tried this yet.
Core magnets from factory from YJ.
Yep. So I like that. I like that the manufacturers are, you know, including a lot more of these features like out of the box, so you're not having to mod them or things like that. But what's frustrating is, I don't know if this was an afterthought, but it's like, release it at the same time as the other versions.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, that's an old cube now. Is that 2020?
Well, yeah, but the UV coated one just came out that doesn't have ball core.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. No, that's right. That is kind of.
And in Moyu, they're on like what 4 versions of the V10 AI, the Weilong, and it's like again release them at the same time so people can make an informed decision. And the other problem is it's weird. Like I guess like the light version has a longer battery life. Like I was told it's like 360 hours of battery life, whereas the normal version has like 30 hours. But the light version doesn't come with a charger that you have to charge up the cube. So it almost seems like the light version is a not rechargeable battery. But again, the information I've received at this point is like incredibly vague. So I haven't even listed it yet because I don't want to list it until I know what's different about it and why should someone buy the light version.
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that it must be a battery if it's 360 hours and doesn't come with a charger. 360 hours on a rechargeable. I don't think we've ever seen that in a smart cube.
And that makes sense. But then it's like they released the charger as a separate SKU at the same time that the light version came out. So it like if the charger comes with the other 3 versions, unless you break it or lose it, like it's kind of like painting a picture. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's pointing to like, yeah, you might need a charger at some point. Maybe it's like a rechargeable battery with a long lifespan. I don't really know, but I will say this ball core mini 4x4 feels nice. So
Okay,
it's a
well
good
that's
example
good.
of don't fix what's not broken.
Well, I was just gonna bring that up, right? Because YJ, I do love him. I do love YJ, but like they swing really hard between this. If it's not broke, don't fix it, and just absolutely insane design. Like that's for one company, for one design department to be swinging that heavily between two fundamental concepts. I don't know. It just seems it's a little bit baffling.
It is.
Like, have they ever had a good 3x3? There was one. What was the one There was one called the MGC Elite, the 3x3 Elite.
Oh
Was there
my
one
gosh.
before that?
I
It's
have
going back
beef
a bit
with
now.
that too. I have beef with the term elite, but I'll let you finish. So yeah, yes, the elite.
No, I was just wondering, was there one? Because I know that one wasn't particularly good. The MGC2 Elite, I'm still traumatized by because it fell apart as well. But
Well-
was there a MGC 3x3 before the MGC3 Elite?
Yeah, the MGC V1 and V2 I think were good cubes. The V2 there's a lot of people loved it or they hated it. The V1 I think was widely loved. And then the Evo and then the Elites started to come into play and it just got a little weird. But speaking of Elites, so QiYi was the first one to use that term with the Valk 3 Elite. Then YJ kind of stole it because they talked about the Valk 3 Elite coming out for like years and never did. But Elite is supposed to be like the top of the line, right? For QiYi.
Yeah.
Okay. So then explain to me why the QiYi Pro Elite that just came out is less upgraded than the ball core UV.
Yeah, that's frustrating and confusing for customers. I don't know. Maybe is there a fundamental mistranslation going on potentially in some of these like hyperbolic adjectives that we're getting for our cube names? I don't know.
Yeah,
eh?
it's just interesting. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm just like trying to dunk on the manufacturers because like I consider them to be friends and I'm happy to. I don't know everything and my opinion isn't always right, but like it is just confusing for branding because like we've already had the question of like, okay, why is the Elite cheaper than the ball core when the Elite's supposed to be the best? And like it adapts the Tornado version 3 adjustment system, which is cool, but like it just seems like the Elite that should have the most features. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and in an English language point of view, I don't disagree with you. It does allude to being the best, being the elite, being the top. So I hear what
Even
you're saying.
language
I hear
aside,
your
though,
frustration.
like even that aside, just the fact that QiYi has released cubes with the Elite being the top trim,
True.
like that's stay consistent. So I don't know. I feel like we've been talking about lots of new cubes. I mean, I still have this Function and then the GAN 15 that I know you're personally interested in the GAN 15.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the one that of all the videos I make and all the things I talk about, like that's the one that gets the most views and the most comments. So you've got one, you've used one. Tell us about it. Have you got one there?
I have two here, and it's weird because I don't know. Like, I don't want to violate anything. So, like, let me think. Like, I guess
Yeah, just be careful.
people have seen pictures of it. I guess if I'm not, like, reviewing it or showing anything or confirming or denying things, that's okay. But I like it. It's kind of, I'll say, I think people will treat the release like the Tornado version 4 has been received so far. And I'll leave it at that.
So you think people will be excited but confused?
Yes.
Okay.
And
That's
to be fair, this is a prototype. So that's also why I don't really want to like review it, even if I could, because it might not be the final representation. Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, and
Like Maddie Hiroto has been solving with it. So hang on a second. Like, yeah. Hang on a second.
If it's Matty's one that he's made videos about, then we're in the clear, right?
Yeah. I mean, all I know, I received a spring version and a maglev version, and I'm told that there will only be a maglev version initially. Don't know if that means there will be a spring version later on, but yeah, I think that the removal of the adjustable edge magnets is kind of a known thing at this point, right?
Yeah, that's common knowledge at the moment. Well, it's like the best guess of what's happening. I see lots of coping in my comments of people going, no, they'll just add that in right at the end. And I'm like, no, I really don't think they will. I feel like that would be not smart.
It's just weird because when I was doing my first look at the Tornado V4, I initially thought that they just took it out because the GAN 15 had, and so I'm like, oh, like whether it be coincidence or not, they just are following suit. But then I saw they moved it to the corner, and yeah, I mean, just sanity checking it again. Yeah, there are no adjustable magnets on the corner, which, I mean, look, I will say a certain cuber who's fast has tried this and didn't really care for it because the magnets were too weak. So that kind of like actually supports like maybe a need for having the adjustable magnets.
Oh, if that gets out, every kid in the comments is going to be quoting that.
Well, and it's like we even went as far as to try to take it apart to customize it to include stronger magnets, and you can't without like heavy modification of the pieces, which most people probably should not be doing. So
no, we can't recommend this course of action.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, and I can appreciate the GAN has been asking me for lots of feedback on it and thoughts, and it seems like they have learned from their experiences with the GAN 14 and are like actively trying to make sure that they sort of check all the boxes with the 15. So I can always appreciate that, but
I love to hear that they're listening, and I love to hear that they're taking it really seriously. The two common questions that we get as resellers are when and how much. I believe we can answer one of those questions now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the price is supposed to be a secret, but I guess I'll just not say it so I don't get in trouble. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think people will be like, no, I can't say anything. Because if I say like they're going to be happy or disappointed, like that could go either way. But
yeah, you are watching live navigating of a non-disclosure agreement here, everyone. This is exciting stuff. This is the goods from the back room at SCS.
Fortunately, yeah, I'm not even under an NDA with them. I'm just trying to be respectful, and that's
okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
So yeah, I don't know. It's people will see, but I can say this: if you were in the market for a 14, this is not out of that reach.
Okay. Do we want to say when, or do you want to keep that under wraps as well?
I don't think that's a secret. September 30th is what I've been told, and I don't think that's a secret. I think it just hasn't really like got out. So
yeah, right. September 30th. Okay, so this is going to separate. This will potentially separate the QiYi crew from the GAN crew, because it's just like if you've got your money ready to go on a premium cube, you either drop it on the 20th or you drop it on the 30th.
Well, and that's where I was going to say that might change because, yeah, like maybe QiYi delays it, or maybe GAN moves their date up to not let QiYi kind of steal the thunder. I don't know. But yeah, I think that the real star of the show that we got to talk about is this new Fangshin Hudong cube. That's what people are here to see.
Yeah, okay, well, here's the deal. So, I made a video on this, and then someone reached out to me who's connected to the designer and said, we actually took our content down about that because of the wishes of the designer, and you should take yours down too until there's more info. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, respectfully, yeah, I will do that. At that point, sorry, I'm springing you on this. I wasn't expecting that cube, but then I was told as well that it wasn't a Fangshi.
Fangshi or Fangshin?
Oh, well, Fangshi specifically. Is Fangshin a different manufacturer, a different brand?
Yeah, Fangshi is a manufacturer, and so is Fangshin.
Okay.
So this is Fangshin. I mean, people have posted solving videos, and I like the cube. So, like, I've spoken with the designer as well, and I do know that... Great. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't told there was, like, any embargo. I was just going to send my review to them as a which actually just came back from editing today. So I was going to send it to them as like a, hey, is there anything you want me to add, or am I not representing something fairly? But I like the cube. So it's positive. Like, I think it's cool that they are taking this so seriously and are, again, actively listening and looking to improve it. But I like the cube. It feels really nice. We're kind of going back to that like sandy, dry feeling. The only downside, which we discussed, is the very circular centerpieces have caused some corner twisting. But
Okay.
I set the spring compression as tight as possible, but have not messed with the screw depth. So I still have a bit more homework to do on this guy, because it's, I mean, you could see like this is incredibly loose.
Yeah.
Like I could almost fit like another corner in that gap. So, but I think it's promising. So yeah, I think that, again, I don't know what the price point is going to be, but I think that this could be just something different that will kind of break the mold of like traditional, like kind of what's becoming the standard for how cubes feel.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm excited to see where that goes. So, like, for those of us who aren't in the know, Fang Xin is a new brand, or is that a brand that has been around in the past? Because it's not one I've come across before.
Yeah, so it's worth mentioning they've been around for a long time.
Okay.
But they're the ones that make like the dinosaur cubes, the dinosaur shape mods, the like color brick cube. Like they're known for doing more of like twisty puzzle stuff and just like simple N by N cubes. So they kind of just came out of nowhere with like nobody expected them to make like a competition level speed cube. So it's interesting and exciting.
Yeah, I love to see that. I love that. I love that they're coming out. Like, listen, we love innovation. We do love innovation. We love to see it, but they haven't come in with anything like super crazy. Yes, the circular center cap, which I think looks awesome. Like, I love the look of it, but functionally questionable. Have they just tried to get like the corner cuttiest cube they could possibly make? Is that what they've gone for at the expense of corner twisting?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know on that. It's I mean, the corner cutting is good on it. Again, I have the spring compression like set as tight as possible. Like it's effortless, like 45, but it's not like ridiculous. So I don't know. I think it's just kind of something different. But like, you know, when you look at a GAN centerpiece, it's circular at the top, but like it's actually like a rounded corner square is what it is.
Yeah.
This is totally possibly wrong, but I mean, no, because the Tornado V4 is kind of similar to that. I was thinking to myself that, no, Tornado V4, maybe it's like a patent thing where maybe they don't want to fly too close to what GAN's doing with like the circular but not circular center.
Yeah, maybe, because that was quite iconic of GAN's sticker pattern, was that perfect circle in the middle.
Yeah.
So whether that's under patent or not, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but I'm excited for it. It's last I heard, they're kind of ironing out the naming scheme and kind of deciding like what features should belong in each version and like how many versions. I'm a hater of having different versions.
Same.
I think that it can be useful for those that like maybe have a preference and don't like the feeling of maglev. Like I'm kind of down with like maglev and not maglev, but I feel like ball core is something that is objectively better and like it's not super noticeable. So like who's gonna not really like it? And aside from the price difference, it's just I don't know. If you're gonna release different versions, at least release them at the same time, which some manufacturers do, some don't. And we make a strong effort to try to educate our customers on the differences, but it would be nice to get some support from the manufacturers on that front.
Yeah, so speaking of that, and maybe to wrap up the sort of... I mean, we're half an hour in. This has been quite a gnarly hardware episode, but I think that's just kind of the space we're in at this time of year. The Moyu Aozu V7, for a 4x4 with 4 different versions. How are we feeling about that?
Yeah, we had one and gave it away. It was good. I don't know what version we had. I think that a 4x4 having 4 different versions is... I just think, again, it's too much. I saw what the versions were. I have to admit, it's been a long day, and I've had some personal endeavors in the background that have been kind of taking my attention, but I don't remember. Can you maybe tell me, like, do you know what's supposed to be the difference between each of the 4 versions? Because I'm assuming one's ball core, one's UV, one's frosted. I mean, it's 4x4 though, so like... You know.
I don't have that information, so that's what I've been trying to find out, and I haven't really seen. Oh,
I might have that information. Hang on a second.
If you've got it, I'm gonna
live.
Let's see what you've got. I'm gonna jump on r/newcubes and just see what I can glean from there.
Yeah, I know I saw it somewhere. I don't know if I was sent something.
Because there's versions with magnets in the center edge pieces, you know, the invisible pieces. Mm-hmm. But I just don't know if we've seen. You know how you usually get that graphic that has all the different versions of all the puzzles that's going to come. You do have that. That's what we need.
Single magnetic UV, double magnetic UV, and triple magnetic UV. So that's right. It reminds me of the More Tricubes. So no idea what that means specifically, but obviously one can assume that it's just quite literally like the amount of magnets. So
single magnetic, we can assume is just edge magnets, right? Edge to corner.
Yeah. Oh, geez, how did I get this set up so perfectly the first time? I'm dropping you.
Double magnetic and triple magnetic, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's just kind of like I don't know. Someone should comment like how they feel about the versions. I've asked this question before many times, but I feel that it leads to kind of buyer exhaustion, and it's sort of like you create this feeling of everyone that doesn't buy the top of the line one may feel like lesser, like they're getting a lesser cube. Not that like there's 4 versions, they're all the same price and they're just different. It's like you're losing out on something. So it might create a bit of like resentment possibly. I don't know. It's kind of how the world works though, right? You buy a car, there's different trim packages. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm not sold.
All I'm feeling is that 4 is just so many for a 4x4. But maybe that's the world. That's the way we're going now. Maybe that's just now we've got ball core and now we've got all those different magnet options. Maybe this is our future. You know, just multiple versions of everything, which I'm not excited about. But
no, and like
you're saying, like I don't really know that it offers much except disappointment for customers. You know, just I don't know. Not sure. I mean, if they're going to have just the Aozu and that's Moyu's 4x4, sure. But they're going to have the Aozu and they're going to have the Meilong 4M and they're going to probably have cheaper ones under that as well, you know? They always have that.
I mean, I look at it this way. The MGC 4x4 has made it this long without really any changes. Like, there's aftermarket ball core kits that people do, fine. But, like, it's worked. So I just kind of feel like, I don't know, we don't need to overcomplicate it and create so many options. But yeah, cubing hardware is weird right now. And one thing I actually thought when I looked at the YJ ESTs, it reminded me of a cube called the Alpha VF. If I can think about it and I can hunt it down, I'll grab some pictures, or if you can Google it. But that's an old school speed cube that was incredibly hollow, and it reminds me, or the EST reminds me of that. So it kind of made me wonder, like, are we starting to possibly regress, like history, like repeating itself, you know?
It looks nasty. It looks so nasty. I've just found a picture of it right now, and yeah, that's nasty.
Make sure to throw that up on the screen if you can. Yeah,
I'm going to send you the link just now to make sure that that we've got it, and so you can confirm that is in fact what we're looking at.
Well, it's funny because a little known fact is that at one point, cubes were not just a DIY kit. They were also, like, when you buy a model kit, you have to cut the pieces out of the plastic frame. That's
like off the sprue.
Yeah, that's how cubes were at one point too. Yeah, that looks like that's it. I wish you can get a good internal picture of it, but
yeah, there's a few different pictures, so I'll overlay some.
Yeah, it was rough, but that's what we had though. So yeah, I don't know, but like I said, I mean, I didn't really mean for this to become such a hardware focused episode. I know you didn't either, but it just kind of happened that way. So I feel like we probably should start to wrap up, and then, I mean, Clock World Record was broken. Was there for that? Happened in a 24-hour competition. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, now tell me. Everyone keeps commenting on my video going, yeah, wow, I can't believe he got sub 2 at 2 in the morning. And I was like, what are you talking about? Is this a time zone thing? But it was a 24-hour comp.
Yeah, so I guess we found out that some people queue better when it's very late. But yeah, that was my first 24-hour comp, and it was fun. It was interesting. I mean, I didn't really even bother to like try to stay up the entire time. I would just kind of like go between like my room and come back down and scope it out. But it was kind of funny to like watch the energy levels change. Like,
yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's a 33-hour long competition that was just announced. So
I'm going to be talking about that on Cubecast tomorrow, actually.
Okay.
Because we're edging towards actual crimes, I think. Some of these like long distance competitions. But I'll talk about that tomorrow anyway.
But yeah, I don't know. So I guess that's a good place to stop then. So I guess, yeah, don't want to get in jail for talking about the GAN 15, but
no,
I think it's good. Tornado V4, we'll see what happens with the Pioneer. YJEST, A for effort. Function Cube is good, promising, and then the little YJ Mini is cool. Just where was it 2 weeks ago when the UV one came out? But yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then, I got to bring on some of my Halloween stuff. I should send you a Halloween cube. I really like the Halloween stuff that we do. Take a lot of pride in that.
That'd be good. So that's all out now. That's been released now, all the Halloween stuff?
Yep. Has all now been released. So we're doing something kind of cool for the Christmas cube this year, so looking forward to that. But yeah, other than that, I think that's about everything.
That's about it. All right, cool. Thank you so much. Well,
Yeah,
it's your
thanks
show.
for,
You do the outro. I forgot what I was doing there for a second.
Yeah, no, well, I'm happy to have you take the reins. I mean, yeah, no, thanks for everyone tuning in. Like I said, these are always a blast to do. So if there's ever any topics that you want covered specifically, leave a comment down below. We'll try to talk about it in the next episode. We're also toying with the idea, well, not really toying with it. We're trying to do these as a live stream. So it'll be, live. And just trying to get the whole technology side of that situated. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and we will see you all in the next one. And thanks, Mike, for hopping on and joining me with this. It'd be a little weird to do this by myself.
No worries. Ciao.
All right. Bye.